Number 4, develop competitive advantage or don't compete. This is very important. Your business depends for its very survival on your ability to develop and maintain a meaningful competitive advantage of some kind. What is it that your company does really well? Where do you perform at a high level? What is the area of excellence of your key products or services? Your competitive advantage is the aspect of your product or service that makes you superior in a meaningful way to your competitors. Your area of competitive advantage is always defined in terms of what your customer wants, needs, and is willing to pay for. Every company that survives and thrives has a specific and valued competitive advantage that customers recognize and appreciate. Every company that gets into trouble is a company that has either lost its competitive advantage relative to its competitors in the marketplace, or it's a company that never had one at all. Your ability to develop, maintain, and protect your competitive advantage is the absolutely indispensable prerequisite for company growth and high profitability. And since your market is changing so rapidly, you must continually ask, what will my competitive advantage be tomorrow based on the way things are going? What should your competitive advantage be if you want to rise to the top of your field? What could your competitive advantage be if you were to make the necessary changes in your product and service offerings? Jack Welch of General Electric is famous for his belief that you must be either number 1 or number 2 in your industry, or you must get out and concentrate your resources where becoming number 1 or 2 is possible. He says, if you don't have competitive advantage, don't compete. The major competitive advantages today are faster, cheaper, or easier, or all three, combined with superb and timely customer service. All the most successful and most profitable companies offer high-quality products and services, and they offer them quickly. In addition, they give excellent customer service, which they continually improve. As the result, they are amongst the most profitable and fastest growing companies in their industries. And so should you be. Number 5, take a long-term view of the business. Your ability to think well about your business today and about your business in the future have an inordinate impact on the success and profitability of your enterprise in the moment. All top executives are long-term thinkers. They project forward 5 years and they think about where they want to be and what they will have to be doing at that time in order to achieve those goals. The best work on strategic planning today is being done by Gary Hamel and Gary Prahaled. Their contribution to business thinking centers on their idea that in order to lead your field in the future, you will have to develop specific core competencies that you probably do not have today. The key to long-term strategic thinking is for you to identify the core competencies you will require and then begin immediately to either develop or to acquire those core competencies so that you will be strongly positioned for the markets and competition of the future. Peter Drucker, the management consultant, says that he never makes predictions. He merely looks at what is going on already and identifies the likely consequences in the years ahead. You should do the same. What are the trends in your business? Where is your market going based on what you know today? How is your market changing with regard to people, technology, products, services, finances, and competition? What new capabilities and skills will you need 3 to 5 years from now to be at the top of your field? What steps will you have to take today in order to begin developing those skills and abilities that you will need tomorrow? Your job is to stand back Think about the future and then begin taking steps in the short term to guarantee that you will achieve the profitability that you desire in the long term. This ability to think long term has never been more important or more valuable than it is today. It is a real key to profitability. Number 6, develop a clear sense of direction. You've heard it said that when you are up to your you-know-what in alligators, it's hard to remember that you came here to drain the swamp. Because of the turbulence of today's marketplace, most executives and managers have been reduced to operating, almost like firefighters on a daily basis. They are totally preoccupied with short-term problems and the need to get short-term operating results. They intend to spend more time thinking and planning for the future, but they don't ever seem to get around to it. They never have time, and they are too busy to make time. But this is not for you. You need to set clear targets for yourself and for every part of your business. In fact, perhaps your most important responsibility to your people is to give them a clear sense of direction in their work. They need this to perform at their best, and they can't do their best without it. In fact, according to psychologists, the greatest single demotivator in the world of work is not knowing what's expected, or not being clear about your goals. There's a simple 5-part formula for developing a sense of direction that you can use for the rest of your career. It's called the GOSPA formula. The 5 letters in the word GOSPA stand for goals, objectives, strategies, priorities, and activities. Let's start with the word goals. A goal is a specific place where you want to end up at the end of a specific period of time. For example, your goal could be a certain volume of sales or a certain level of profitability at the end of a quarter or the end of a year. The letter O stands for objectives. These are the sub-goals that you will have to accomplish in order to achieve your longer-term goal. If your 1-year goal is a certain dollar level of profitability, your objectives could be in the areas of sales, marketing, distribution, manufacturing, cost control, staff development, technology, and so on. Achieving these objectives, the goals are achieved as well. The third letter in GOSPA, S, stands for strategies. Your strategy is the method that you are going to use to accomplish the objective on the way to your goal. For example, with regard to sales, your strategy could be to build an internal sales force, or your strategy could be to outsource all selling to a professional sales organization. And there could be numerous sub-strategies within the single sales strategy. The fourth letter in the GOSPA formula, P, stands for priorities. What are the things that you will have to do first, and what are the things that you will have to do second? Which items are more important and which items are less important? You always have to be setting priorities. The final letter in the GOSPA formula is A, which stands for activities. These are the specific daily functions that are clearly delegated to specific individuals with standards of performance and specific deadlines. If you have thought out this process completely, each activity will be determined by the current priorities. The achievement of the priorities will lead to the accomplishment of the strategy. When your strategy is carried out, you will achieve your objectives, and at the end of the time period, you will have reached your goal of a specific level of sales or profitability. One of the primary qualities of executives in high-profit businesses is that they think and act strategically at all times. They are always playing down the board. They are always thinking about the future and about the various different things that they can do to make their desired future a reality. Number 7, focus on key profit areas. One of the keys to high profitability in your